Spike. This part of his leg is starting to go, y'all.
Why'd you do that?
But the power was on.
I wasn't ready.
But the bell rang. Yes, anyway. Hello, I'm Spike.
I'm Chris.
That's starchy pants Chris over there. And welcome to another episode of Geekin Out. Now, CES was last week. That's the Consumer Electronics Show. Everybody piles out. Everybody wants to show stuff because it's a new year. They want to show what happens in 2020. Out of all the stuff that happened, I saw exactly one thing that actually impressed me. And I couldn't even tell you who the manufacturer is right now. It's that bad. But CES, there was a few news articles came out of it, a few decent things. The one thing that impressed me out of CES, did you even pay any attention to the CES coverage?
No, but what is CES?
It's the Consumer Electronics Show. They put this on every year. This is where the
new
manufacturers,
technology.
yeah, this is where the manufacturers get to come out and show the new technology.
Just so you guys know.
Do you remember? This is the one thing that impressed me at CES. Do you remember the foldable smartphone?
Yeah.
Remember the foldable smartphone?
Yeah.
Went over like a lead rake.
Yeah, it didn't.
Was not that good, was it? Kind of sucked, didn't it?
I
Didn't
think I
work that
had
well,
one.
did it?
I think everybody had one, and then it was just one of those things that was in like a box in your closet or in a drawer that you never really use or open because you got like iPod 25 or something like that, you know.
The new stuff came out, right?
Yeah.
So, what came out at CES, and this is going to get crapped on by everybody because of the foldable phone. Everybody's going to wonder what in the hell I'm talking about because of the foldable phone.
Hold on. I'm just going to point this out. I think it's hilarious. That scene in, I think it was Spider-Man Homecoming, where he's talking to Tony Stark. I remember people actually saying in the theater, like, he has a flip phone. Tony Stark's using a flip phone.
It's a shoe phone, yeah.
Of all the things he could, he could create and stuff, he still has a flip phone.
It's a shoe phone. By the way, Buck Henry passed away last week, so sorry to hear that. He was the guy who helped get smart and helped invent the shoe phone. But anyway, getting back to it. Speaking of foldable phones, the one thing out of CES that really impressed me and watch, because I have a decent track record on calling things in the future. A foldable tablet computer, okay? But this is not your ordinary tablet computer, okay? This one is about the size of a small CRT, okay? A small computer monitor, okay? Over here off camera we have a couple of monitors there. It's about the size, probably about 13, 14 inch diagonal, okay? So it's a decent size. But here's the thing, you can use it like a tablet, okay? So you'll have it in front of you just like this. You can use it like you would a tablet computer, a normal tablet computer. Or you can fold it. Once you fold it, it ceases to be a tablet and becomes a laptop computer. You set it down, the bottom of the screen becomes a virtual keyboard. You tap on it to type, and the top of the screen, the part that's folded up, becomes your new screen.
Wow.
So it's kind of like a mix. It's actually, it's about half the foldable smartphone and half a Nintendo Switch. Because have you ever seen a Switch?
Yeah.
Switch has the little controller with the screen on it that changes based on what you're doing on. Or if you want to unplug it from the Switch, you can actually play games just on the controller, like it's a handheld. That's what this is. This is a foldable tablet computer that can turn into a laptop. And because it can turn into a laptop, now you can actually sit down and finger type with it instead of having to use gestures. You can still use gestures, but you don't have to. Now you can sit there and actually type like you had a physical keyboard.
Huh.
there's one more development that came with that could. I mean, I think this is going to change things as much as the first iPhone did. This is the game changer. These are called sonic keys, and they're located on smartphones and will likely come on this foldable tablet too. These sonic buttons are located along the outside, okay, around the edge of your smartphone. So you wake up your smartphone, get it working and everything. Now if you want to do something dedicated, like you want to launch you want to go straight to text, instead of having to close out whatever you're on, tap the text icon and bring up the text thing, you tap the edge of some edge on the smartphone and it will automatically launch a text for you. If you want to turn your phone on or off, you tap a different part of the phone. No physical key, you just tap it. Tap and hold and it'll wake up. Tap and hold again, it'll go back to sleep. So now you don't have to worry about this thing accidentally turning on and off. Yeah. It'll have the volume keys. Again, sonic keys, you press a different part on the edge of the smartphone and you'll be able to control the volume up and down. But no physical keys to wear out. This is all virtual stuff. It's where it recognizes your fingers are there, and if it's in a particular part of the edge, it knows it needs to do something. You can actually assign tasks to these things.
So this is
like gesture computing on steroids. It's what this is like.
This is like, I mean, I've heard of smartphones, but this is like smart, genius.
This is like a genius phone.
Yeah, like this is like genius stuff, right?
This is where
I like that. That's pretty
This
cool.
is where it actually adjusts to you to make it easier to use, because guess what? You're telling it where.
I just hope it does very good in the autocorrect thing. Just saying. I think we all know what, we have trouble with the autocorrect.
As AI comes up, then that will fix. But for now, I wouldn't hold my breath. I mean, some things, hey, foldable screens, yeah, we can do that. Sonic keys all the way around the perimeter where you can tap things, yeah, we can do that. Figuring out the difference between which words you actually want. Have you ever tried to type the word ill on an autocorrect phone? It doesn't work.
Yeah.
Teaching autocorrect the difference between ill and I'll? No. That ain't happening.
Remember how we walked out of Captain Marvel and hated it so much, and I tried to type something in, but it wouldn't even let me type in Captain Marvel at all.
Mm-hmm.
It just like denied it. Like, no.
Nope, you're too angry. I, on the other hand, you're still smiling from that review I did of Marvel Incoming last episode. But I need a t-shirt. You know what? Seriously, we need to work on a merchandise store for this show. Because who does not want a big old dog turd with a third power to one side of it?
I can make that happen. We know people.
We need to do something. We need to do something.
You give the idea, and I know they can do it.
We'll think about it. Let us know in the comments and stuff if we can find the comments, because YouTube screwed up their
it sits there.
again.
Yeah, for some reason, instead of scrolling all the way down past the videos that you may not even watch, the comment area is now gone, and it says comments have moved, and you have to click this one. I clicked it like 3 times, and nothing happened. I'm like, well, what? Where's the comments? Clicked it again, and finally it showed up, and I'm like, stupid.
So,
gotta make things different.
That's what Google does to improve things, and other companies are coming out with foldable tablets that you can put sonic keys on.
Yeah, I was going to ask, when did this actually come out?
This actually came out last week.
Last week.
This was revealed in 2 different.
There was something I saw, but I have never heard nobody talk about it. I've never seen it anywhere. I saw it once, and it was basically like an iPod, or iPad, iPad, but it's where like the cover, you can see through the cover instead of opening it up, the case that it came in. You can actually do whatever and then open it up or whatever. But it also twisted, flipped. You can close it this way. But that was it. Like, it disappeared. I don't know what happened to it.
That sounds like they're developing some of their own foldable stuff. But
I was like, something awesome.
it's one of those things. We're going to get to the point where and it'll be in our lifetimes. There'll be a point where you will not have external hardware. It'll either be internalized hardware, or it'll be like a Bluetooth earwig that you can. There's the fun word of the day, earwig. It'll be like a little Bluetooth earwig you can wear, or it'll be implanted somewhere, most likely in wherever the mark of the beast is supposed to go. But,
yeah, there'll be a lot of people be like, oh, but then some be like, but yeah, that's what I was always waiting for, was one of those things where they stick it in your arm or something, and you just click it and it pops up there and it will make phone calls, watch videos, do whatever. But again, I don't trust that either, because of the fact that what do you do when electronics, they don't last? They never last. So eventually that new technology won't be new anymore, because it'd be just like a game system. You go out and buy a brand new game system, it lasts like 5-6 years until a new one comes out, and then all the things that you have for that one is obsolete, and you have to buy brand new stuff.
Have you ever seen Logan's Run, the movie?
No.
Everybody has the little crystal in the back of their hand. It all starts green until they hit like 29, it turns yellow. When they hit 30, it turns red. When it turns red, you're obsolete. Time to go.
You're dead?
They kill you, yes. Because planned obsolescence. If your hardware is obsolete,
30?
off you go. 30. Once you get past 30, you start consuming more than you contribute, so off you go, buddy.
Well, that's bull crap.
That's a 40-year-old movie, man. That's a 45-year-old movie now. Logan's Run, check it out. And that's what'll happen if you start getting implantable electronics. So,
I'm not doing implant stuff. Somebody's doing
way off base here, but we'll go ahead and we'll wrap it for now. God, we still got a podcast to record before we can go to bed.
By the way, go and look at our podcasts, or listen to our podcasts. Look.
Yeah, you can find our podcasts are audio only, by the way. That's the Tour of Duty came back, and it's now available on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and Homebase, Banker.fm, among other places. But if you can get if you can listen to podcasts, you can listen to ours. I just don't know why you would. So, but on this week's podcast, by the way, in case you missed it, on this week's podcast, I actually wrote this down here somewhere. I'm trying to keep notes. We're going to be covering two topics on the Tour of Duty this week, because Tour of Duty is primarily my show. That's my show right there, buddy. Although I've been bogarting a lot of these screen things this week, but well, you can't keep up. Right, my show. Well, we're going to be talking about the Red River Gorge on the Tour of Duty this week, which is unusual. I have been talking politics and political theory for the most part. This one is kind of related to politics, but it's mostly about. This episode is going to be called Dirty Pool. Okay. First half of the show is going to be about the Red River Gorge and something that's been talked about there, and some dirty pool that's happening. And then we're going to talk about the terror of Tehran, Soleimani, and his fan club in the American press. That'll be in the second half of the Tour of Duty that's coming up. If you ain't got it, you'll get it. I'll show you, by golly. Odds are this episode releases long after the podcast hits anyway, so in case you missed it, there it is. It'll be out there on Apple. It'll be on Google if Google will let you find it. And it'll definitely be out on Anchor.fm. Just do a search for Who, What, Where on your favorite podcast platform. That's WHOWOTWARE, and you'll find us. So, anything else before we wrap this?
Nope.
Okie dokie. So, till next time, I'm Spike.
I'm Chris.
That's Chris, and Marvel Incoming is still a dog turd to the third power. See you next time on Geeking Out. Bye, all.